Good evening, and welcome to another World of Warships video with Captain Darkwing Glacier. I first want to apologize for my voice if it sounds a little bit scratchy. I'm kind of getting over a cold, but I'll try to make it through this without sounding too horrible. In this battle, I am taking out my Tier V German battleship, the Konig, or well, I will say Konig for the rest of the battle because I don't speak German, so my pronunciation is probably off the mark anyway, so I will just stick with an anglicized version of the word, and we'll get started. So this is a Tier VII battle. There are no Tier VII battleships, but there are a couple Tier VII cruisers, and I believe maybe a destroyer or two. Yes, we do have a Minsk on our side. So I'm not going to be facing any really tough battleships, but there will be some destroyers and cruisers that I'm going to have to pay attention to and be wary of. I've been playing a lot of Tier V battleships recently to try to get a feel for all of them, and the first thing I noticed when I started playing Tier V battleships is they all seemed pretty much the same. At least most of them anyway. That is the New York, the Texas, the Konig, the what else do we got? Tier V Japanese is the Congo, which is definitely different. That's a definite standout. The New York and Texas are essentially identical, except Texas is geared more for anti-air, whereas the New York does not have quite as strong anti-air, but it does have more secondaries than the Texas, so it's better against destroyers if they get too close. But the Congo is definitely different in that it is faster, it is more lightly armored, and it definitely has a different play style. The Konig started to stand out for me because I've noticed that it has very low arcs on its shells and very fast shells. So that is one of the things I noticed about it. I do not have to lead my enemy as much. The guns feel more accurate, and compared to something like the Iron Duke, which is definitely an HE spammer, and the Britannia, the French, the Konig seems really like a railgun type ship, and that's where its advantage lies. It also does have a spotter plane, so you can get some pretty good range on this thing. So it's turned out to be one of my favorite ships. I do like the Congo very much. The New York and Texas I like very much. I also kind of have an American bias. The Britannia, it's okay. I've done pretty well on that ship. The October Revolution, that's the Russian ship, has a lot of guns in its favor, but it's still not quite my favorite ship either. And let's see, what did I just leave out? Yeah, the Iron Duke is a good HE spammer, but I hate the slow turret rotation, and so that one is a tough one that I've played comparatively. So I do like the Konig a lot. And at this point, I see that we only have 2 cruisers and 1 destroyer on the western flank against 2 destroyers and 2 cruisers over on the western flank. So I decided I'm going to head over there as fast as I can to try to help out. And already we've lost to Nuremberg, so things are not doing so well. Most of my team is heading over to the east, where the enemy appears to have 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, 2 battleships, whereas we have 3 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 3 destroyers. So we're definitely outnumbered on the west, and I'm trying to get over there as fast as I can. And we just lost our Gallant, which I believe was on the... Yeah, I believe it was on the... Actually, I'm not sure where he is. Yeah, there he is, on the eastern flank. So I get a shot on the Fuso that I should be able to get off without being detected. And rather than go to the south of the island here, I realize I need to get up close as fast as I can to help out my teammates. So I am heading north, whereas I'm undetected, and maybe I can pop out from behind this island and surprise either the Leander or the Atlanta and maybe do some good. But things are not doing so good, and I may be way too late because we just lost our T-22. All we have on that flank is our Fiji against 4 enemy ships. So it may be too little too late, and I think at this point I'm just going to be ending up fleeing this corner or just holding it, trying to delay as long as possible and sell my life dearly. Because I doubt I could probably take that Fuso on a one-on-one fight. If I could kill it, I would have very low health at the end. There's also the Jervis, the Leander, and the Atlanta, so this is not looking good at all. Of course, the Leander here is Not a good angle for me, but he is turning, so if I can get a nice good broadside shot on him, that would be good. But he sees me, he pops his smoke. The Atlanta's turning broadside, so I decide to fire at him instead. And I immediately begin turning because I know that lander is going to launch torpedoes at me. I'm going to start getting spammed any second now by the AP from the Leander and HE from the Atlanta. Our Fiji has decided that discretion is the better part of valor, so he is leaving the area as well, which I do not blame him one bit. We need to just get the heck out of here. So fortunately, because everyone is using their smoke, I remain undetected. So I can just kind of open up the distance a little bit, wait for that smoke to dissipate, and then maybe kill something. Okay, there's the Jervis. He's come out of the smoke. Get some shots off on him. And, you know, at this point, I am entirely worried about my side. I'm not too worried about the eastern flank because we outnumber them over there. We already have the B cap. We should be able to hold them off and essentially win because we have more strength over there. But little do I know that we're having a tough fight over there. But I've got a tough fight here myself. So here come torpedoes from the Jervis. Fortunately, they don't quite reach me. And the Fiji is now coming up north. Looks like he's going to give me some support. Now, I'm waiting for a ship to come around this corner, and if he does, I'll be able to take him out. So right now, we are down 5 ships to their 4. But since we've taken a lot of damage on the western side, that means our eastern flank is at least holding its own. So I'm patiently waiting for any enemy ship to come around this flank where I can hopefully get a nice broadside on them. There we go. There's the Leander. Shots out. He is slightly angled. I'm able to get a decent shot, but not nearly as good as I wanted. A little too many overpens. Fortunately, I wasn't able to get his Citadel. I know he's going to be launching torpedoes, so I instantly turn the rudder hard over to starboard. Try to get out of there. I'm looking to starboard at this point to get my guns turning in that direction as fast as possible. I don't necessarily have to be watching the Leander at this point because I already know what he's doing. Here comes the Atlanta around the corner, and unfortunately now I'm under attack by spam from both those ships. Waiting for my guns to come around. The Atlanta's already turning away, so he's pretty well angled against me. There are the Leander's torpedoes, which I've successfully dodged. I get 1 overpen on the Atlanta, which is very disappointing. And then there's the Fuso on my starboard side. It looks like he's starting to fire his broadside against me. I fire my middle turret at him, and I don't think I get any hits at all. So our Fiji's hiding in the smoke, but he doesn't really have a good angle on anybody at this point, so it's just me against them. Okay, it looks like the Jervis was taken out. I guess the Fiji must have gotten him. So we now have the Leander, the Atlanta, and the Fuso over there. And now when I look on the eastern flank, we're not doing so good. We have 3 battleships left, but they have 2 battleships and a cruiser, so it's kind of even the odds. So that's not good. So now I'm going to wait for this Leander to come out from behind the island again. Hopefully I'll get a nice good shot on him. Maybe can take him out. Patiently waiting for him to come out. Detected. I slow down a little bit, and there he is. He's already angling away. Shots out. He leads me a little bit too much, still does some damage. I get a Citadel on him, which is good. I nearly take him out, but he's probably going to heal that up pretty darn quick. Fiji tries to help out and finish this guy off. On the eastern flank, our Bayern rams the enemy October Revolution and survives the impact. So that's good news on the eastern flank. We're now tied with 5 ships remaining each. I fire another broadside, hoping to take out this Leander. And I get a couple hits. It looks like we brought him down to 572 hit points. But he gets away, which is bad news. So I'm taking a lot of spam now from the Atlanta. The Fuso is in A, heading to the south, so he's probably going to come around that corner. And I have to be ready for that. And now, fortunately, I'm undetected from the Atlanta, so my heal is able to complete, and hopefully I'll be able to recharge that. Now it looks like either the Fuso is reversing to come back out to see us. And we take out the Legal, so that's good news. We have 3 ships on the eastern flank, and they only have the 1 New York. So things look like they're in pretty good shape at this point. We are ahead on points. We have 2 caps. We have 5 ships to their 4, and one of them, the Leander, is very low on health, although he will be healing soon, I'm sure. Okay, I take some shots at the New York, give away my position, and I'm unable to do any damage to him, and here comes the Atlanta. He has nearly as much health as I do, and he has a much faster rate of fire. Then I take a big hit from the New York, which brings me down to 14,000. My turrets are not turning fast enough, and unfortunately I cannot turn my ship that fast to compensate because I'm too close to an island. And as happens to me all the time, the instant my guns get on target, he slips behind the island. So I took a lot of damage at that point, and that's not good news at all. The Atlanta uses his radar, and I'm at 6,400 hit points, and fortunately my heal is about to come back online, and I'm definitely going to need it. So I'm waiting for, is the Fuso going to come out this way? Is the Atlanta going to turn around? I launched my spotter plane to try to get some intelligence. I know that I'm going to lose it, and I do, because that Atlanta took it out fast, but at least it gave me some valuable intelligence on where those 2 ships are going. So now I know I can expect the Atlanta to come around this corner. The Fuso is going to come behind me, so I definitely angle my stern directly towards him. And I'm trying to get behind this island to protect myself from the Fuso, while at the same time waiting for that Atlanta to stick his nose out. And there's the Leander behind us. My team might be doing okay, but I feel like I'm in trouble. So I take some more hits, I get the heal off, down to 8,500 hit points. Where's that Atlanta? He's going to appear any second now. There he is. Line up the shot. And boom, take him out with 2 citadels. So that was definitely a relief. I took him out. Now we got to worry about the Fuso, who's near full health. So I'm in really no shape to take care of him. So he's probably going to be aiming his guns, waiting for me to come around the eastern side of the island. But I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go double back and try to get him from the other side. Now, if he's going to be watching for me to come around that corner to finish me off, he's going to be taking fire from the ships in front of him. And there's some fire right there, maybe from the Fiji. And in any event, he's going to be aiming at me. So eventually the Fuso is going to realize that the bigger threat is in front of him rather than me popping out from the side. So he's going to be looking at those other ships, and hopefully I'll be able to get a broadside or 2 off on him. So my last heal comes up, and it's not quite, yeah, there we go, I kick off the heal. And we're fortunately able to take out their New York, and now we are up 5 ships to 2. So things are looking very good. Unfortunately, we just lost our Fiji, so now we're down 4 to 2, but I'm not particularly worried. Our Bayern is kind of low on health, as is our New York, but as is me, for that matter. But our Giulio Cesare is doing okay. And I'm wondering where the Leander is at this point, because I haven't seen him for a while, and I'm wondering if he's going to pop out somewhere and surprise us. So I get a stern shot off on the Fuso. And this isn't the best angle, and I get mostly overpens. I'm surprised I actually got that rather than shatters or bounces. And he's focusing, it appears, on the Bayern at this point, and I gotta watch where I'm going before I run into this island. So I start slowing down and do full right rudder, get another broadside off. And do a little bit more damage. Now I'm starting to accelerate again, and the Fuso takes out the Bayern. So suddenly we're down 2 to 2. What happened to our New York? I guess I missed how he got killed. But things are not looking so good, because we just have the enemy Fuso against our Giulio, but our Giulio does have a lot more health, at least twice the health of the Fuso, who just lost even more. So we're still in pretty good shape. I do a little bit more damage to him, just 1 overpen, unfortunately. And I'm really wondering, where is the enemy Leander? Is he behind an island? He's going to pop out and he's going to surprise me? And I'm afraid, there he is. He's on my port side. He's 2 kilometers away. My guns are pointed in the wrong direction. And, oh my gosh, my secondaries took him out. But here come the torpedoes. And they're coming right up my stern. And can I evade the torpedo? It's going to be close. Whew. That was a close one. I thought I was toast when that guy came around the island. He was way too close. He was in position, and we're about to lose our Giulio because now he's down to 1,290 points. How did he lose that much health? So things are really close at this point, and we might lose our Giulio in the last second. But if my guns get in the position, I can get the final shot off, and this will get the Fuso and get us the win. So that was a nail biter, and my heart jumped in my throat when that Leander came around the corner, and I get 3 kills, come in second place after the Giulio. I don't know what happened to him and why he lost that much health towards the end, but let's take a look at the secondary damage, because I didn't get a primary shot off on him. I did 3 hits on the Leander for 792 points in HE, and my AP did 3 hits, 7,700 points of damage. So I'm pretty impressed by that. Konig has pretty good secondaries, so thanks for watching.